All right. Welcome, 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 people. It's another Black Eyes TV production. Power moves to sisters, a group of house here in the UK. Gonna be linking up with the USA sisters. We have Queen Afua talking and presenting. We're gonna have Monica from Dagger Squad coming on hopefully later as well. Just give us a few minutes and we begin. Here.
I'm ready.
We're ready for you.
Okay. Greetings, my London family, my African London family. Greetings to the sisters. It's live. You came out. Wonderful. I know. This is our circle. This is our circle. Can you give me your name? Also on the call.
My name's Margaret.
Greetings. Greetings to you. Continue the circle.
So she can hear you. The first young lady was Margaret.
Wonderful. Welcome in. Good thanks. Who else is in the circle?
Grace.
Go right ahead.
Amanda.
Ah, greetings to you as well. Good thanks. And
Tiana.
Wonderful. So it's 4 of you?
No, there's one.
Oh, okay. Okay, there you are over there. All right. Okay, good thing. So we have 5. Wonderful. There's more in the circle. I want to see everybody. So come to the center so I can see you. Just bring yourself to the center. Just
we're trying to create the semicircle now.
So how many in the circle? Because maybe it's everyone can't be seen. How many is in the circle?
We've got 6 at the moment.
Number? How many?
7. Well, 7.
Okay, 11. That's your number. Okay. Okay. Well, I have been coming back and forth to London for at least over, this is about 11 years, 11 to 12 years. And every time it has been quite eventful. I feel very connected. And it's always amazing to me because here in the States, when I ask who's in the circle, they'll say, and where they're from, they'll say, I'm from Atlanta, I'm from Chicago, I'm from Detroit, I'm from Washington, I'm from Baltimore. That's how the circle would be. But in this case, I know that some of you are from Sierra Leone, or from Ghana, or from Tanzania, or from Nigeria, the Ivory Coast, you're from different parts of, but you live now in Europe. And what has happened to my people here, that most of us went through 400 years of chattel slavery. And so we always want to connect to our African brothers and sisters. That's always our goal as a whole, as a people. So I thank you for making the connection. This is the connection. And what I bring to you is holistic health based on sacred women. It's a sacred woman. It comes out of this book, which some of you already might have. This is Sacred Woman. You have it? No? Yes?
I have all.
Some of you do. This is Sacred Woman, a guide to healing the feminine body, mind, and spirit. Now, this text, it came out in 2000, and it swept across the nation, and it then swept across the whole planet. Who's on this cover? It's you. This represents you, the African woman, the melaninized woman, the woman of color, the first mother, the first healer on the planet Earth. And this healing comes out of a prayer. This prayer is what our ancient ancestors gave to us, and it's on the temple walls. And this is the prayer, and this is for us. And I want you to repeat with me. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes.
Wonderful. So repeat. We are the women.
We are the women
Who lighten the darkness.
who lighten the darkness.
We have come to lighten the darkness.
We have come to lighten the darkness.
It is lightened.
It is lightened.
We have overcome the destroyers.
We have overcome the destroyers.
We are there for those who weep,
We are there for those who weep,
who hide their faces,
who hide their faces,
who sunk down.
and sunk down.
They looked upon us then.
They look upon us then.
We are the women.
We are the women.
We are the healers.
We are the healers.
And that is a prayer that came from our ancient non-vital ancestry. And this is a prayer that was born out of the work of Sacred Woman, because Sacred Woman is the healer. And this work wakes up that inner healer so that she can take care of herself personally through the gateways, and then therefore be able to help her family to overcome mental, physical, emotional, social disease. But it takes knowledge, it takes work, it takes commitment, it takes you taking the journey. And so I would look at this as your orientation, your preparation for taking a mighty walk. And this walk deals with your spiritual anatomy. And I'll call out the gateways because the gateways is your refuge, is your healing, is your transformation, is your overcoming. Moon is the universal sky mother, and that gateway deals with women suffering from fibroid tumors, heavy bleeding and clotting. And I'm saying heavy bleeding and clotting is 5 days, 6, 7 days, sometimes twice a month. With PMS pain, we're looking to eliminate all of that. With cysts and relationship sexual trauma. So the gateway of Newt represents the universal sky mother, and she gives us medicine, foods, and herbs, and clay, and healing packs, and baths, and inversion, and affirmations, and aromatherapy, and stones, and colors, and journaling. She gives us all the works to heal our wounds so that when we come out of this healing, we don't have those issues any further, and maybe we can prevent that surgery. And maybe we can turn around our DNA, because most disease is passed down through the bloodline. If you check your mother, you'll see your mother had heavy bleeding if you have it. Or your mother had a hysterectomy because maybe you have a tumor right now, but if you don't address it, that's what it will end up being. And so we're not talking about this person healing you as those in this circle, but also all the women in your family, your daughters, your nieces, your mothers, your grandmothers, the elders, and you as the centerpiece, as the vehicle. There's always one in every family, and there's always one healer. You're the chosen one. That's why you're here. And that's the one who represents the rest of the family. They're waiting for you to have the knowledge. So the gateway of you takes care of the wound healing. And then when you guys speak to who to deal with the word is medicine, word is power. What you speak is what you create. And so from the words of medicine, you either are going to be, it's medicine you build on every word. So you think before you speak, because what you say, what you think will become. Sick medicine or sick words as growing up, that you were worthless, that you are not good enough, that you don't have the power, that you can't change reality, then, or you were cursed from mother or grandmother or father, that had impact on you as an adult. And even though you kept going, you kept hearing those words. So you never really felt the fullness of who you are. But we shift that, and the word for that is hekaul. Medicine, words of power, words of magic. And we go from the wound healing of the body, going into Tahuti, the throat healing, the communication, the medicine of the throat through herbs and plants and prayers and stone colors. Medicine, so medicine to medicine to medicine. I say to all of you, eat from the garden. That's your safe haven. Packaged, not from packaged goods, not flesh foods, only the greens from the garden. For example, the most powerful food you can take into restore your emotions, your heart, your brain, your skin, your bones, your hair is chlorophyll. Chlorophyll comes out, is charged from the sun. From the sun through photosynthesis, that green the plants. We drink the plants, we eat the plants, we make tea from the plants, we have our salads, we have our green juices, and we are restored, we are rejuvenated every tissue of the cell. So if you have cancerous cells, you've got to saturate yourself with the green. But that green doesn't just work on the cancer physical, it works on the emotional cancer, because cancer doesn't just come from physical. It comes from anger and rage and unresolved relationships that we harbor, and we grow that sickness in our hearts. So it's the greens. Every time you have a glass of green juice and green tea and Master Herbal Time to help break the addictions that I have in the Green Life Nutritional Formula, you are repairing yourself through this medicine. So every single disease on the planet, antidote that will help to rectify those diseases. Into BEST. And BEST deals with cutting away corruptible matter. It deals with movement. I have developed a system called Abun Ka'at, or Yanka, a form of yoga practice. Practice helps you to move from a stagnated state into an alive woman. And when I was there in London, my last time, I did the movements. It's 108 movements in total. You could just take one primary movement and that's your inversion out of the whole 108 and transform your life. And that inversion is what our ancestors gave to us to bring our souls to life. We are standing upright all the time, so energy drains down. Drain from the brain, the minute goes, Alzheimer's as you get older. Heart, so you have some heart palpitations and falling on the heart, and you may get lumps in the breast as you go. It's the drainage, and it drains and it pulls down the colon, so the colon becomes prolapse under the navel and sits down on your womb and your bladder, and so you have womb issues and kidney issues and all of that. So when you do the inversion exercise, you can lay flat in your bed, put 3 pillows at the foot of it, and bring your power back to yourself. And every day that you do that for 2 minutes in the morning, 2 minutes at night, your mind becomes sharper, your energy becomes more vibrant, you start to problem solve, your back pains are going, your womb is no longer prolapse, a crisis mode of your prolapse uterus by the time we're 40 or 50 years old. You can prevent those issues by doing just one movement of 108. But you'll learn that, and in the teachings that I give, the rites of passage, you will learn all of this. And I'm moving from that gateway to fully empower you, Heteru. Heteru actually goes into your inner child, because that little girl who's under the bed, she's 5 years old, she's 6, 7 years old, she's in a corner, in a shower, she's hiding in her soul. But she's an adult, you're an adult, but she's still inside of you, hurt and fearful, frightened. You've got to go get her and let her know that you're now healing and that you're taking your rites of passage, and she will come with you and become a whole woman through you. Because oftentimes we're adults, but we're still acting out that 7-year-old girl who was deserted, who wasn't loved, who wasn't embraced, who wasn't hugged. And so that you can begin to be her healer, her mother, and mother yourself. That is heaven, and that brings out your beauty, inner and outer beauty. And then we move ourselves into Nebuchadnezzar. Nebuchadnezzar is the lady of the house, the lady of the heavenly realm. And so through Nebuchadnezzar has you to trust yourself. You know that gut feeling, that first thing that comes to your mind, you say, oh, that's an aha moment of what you should be doing. And when you listen to that aha moment, everything works. And I should have listened. Something told me that I should have picked up that phone, or I shouldn't have went out, or I should have stayed, or I should have not signed that contract, or I should have moved on. I should have stopped talking at that moment. A fire, if I continue on. Something told us, but we don't train ourselves to be trusting of ourselves. So that intuition will save your life. It will come at a moment's notice when you need it the most. And that is the spirit of Nebuchadnezzar, the lady of the house, the lady of the heavenly realm. And she's inside of you. All of these are your attributes that need to be activated. And that works on your ucha, your pineal gland. That is where that super awareness comes in, that mother wit, that intuition. And we move ourselves from the next state way as we go into the different body members and go to the heart. And the heart is my eye. And my eye deals with the balance of the heart, and it's really weighs on the scale. And on the scale, these are glyphs. On one side is the heart, and the other side is the feather. It says your heart must become as light as a feather. If your heart becomes heavy because you're angry at your mother, angry at your father, angry at your loved ones from the past, then you'll become out of balance. When you don't need that, you just have to ask a question. And the best way to find the answer is to take a bath tonight. Next 3 days, you will discover where that issue came from and why that person has come into your life. You'll light a white candle, turn off the light in the bathroom, put in a pound of Dead Sea salt, Epsom salt, soak in the tub for 30 minutes, and just let go. And then within that 30 minutes, 10, 15 minutes in, ask the question. This is the key to your freedom. Why did I create that relationship in the first place? Why did I bring that relationship into my life? Here is the answer. And when you ask the question, you relax enough, then you will hear, oh, that is why I wasn't loving myself. I didn't trust myself. I was abusive to myself. I put myself down, and what ends up happening? Relationships come and become the mirror. Mirror, that's our ancestors created the mirror, the image of what is going on in your life is what is going outside of your life and what needs to be healed up in all of us. I'm not excluded. I'm also part of it. I'm part of humanity. We all came here to learn our lessons. Some are very gentle and some are very hard if we ignore. And so the gateway of Ma'at, you will learn how to balance your heart so that your heart is no longer heavy. So no more heart attacks and no more strokes and early death. And it heals relationships of mother to daughter, daughter and mother to auntie to grandmother, daughter to father, all the relationships. And it moves us from an art of balance, truth, and righteousness and reciprocity. Great mothers have seat of power. And where's that seat of power? It's also in the pineal gland. As. And the man is Asar. So within the spirit of As, you get to connect to your right and left brain. The right brain represents your spiritual self. The left brain represents your material self. The left and the right brain must come into harmony. And it comes into harmony through the symbol of the Ankh. That is our emblem as a nation, as a people. The very top of the Ankh represents the bottom and the base of the Ankh. It holds up the feminine principle, represents the masculine principle. And the two sides of the Ankh represents the children and the continuation of our visions. Represents our visions. And that is what brings us into balance, bringing that forward. And that is the spirit of left and right brain in harmony. And women and men must have it in harmony. Otherwise, this is how it works. You get a vision. You see what you need to do for your life, your career, your family. You hear it. It shows up in your visions and your dreams when you wake up early in the morning. But then you don't do anything about it. So on one side, you hear it. You hear it, within the principle. But then the other side is to now you have to take action forward and make the shifts and the changes so it can become a reality. So you hear what you need to do. That's the feminine principle. That's your meditation. That's your affirmation. You journal it. But then to act on it, you have to let go of something. You have to embrace something. You have to move forward. That's the masculine part of ourselves. But women and men have to bring that unity within. That's an internal spiritual smile. We are the spirit. That's awesome. What does that bring you? What does As bring you? Since it's a throne, palace, in the palace of consciousness, that is your wealth. When you can bring the left and right brain together, you get your wealth. The Pilgrim is one of our supporters in this work, and she also speaks of the brain balancing, and she will come and visit us in our rites of passage. As Queen Esther, the Dean of the Globe Settlement Village, will come visit us in the gateway of Heaven Rule. And in the gateway of Tahuti Sanal Samaj, he will come and visit us. And these are master teachers who have been doing their work for decades, and they're part of our rites of passage. This, again, I say, is your preparation. We're almost there. And then we move, and the last day within this book is Nefertun. It says, out of the mud of pain and sorrow and strife, If you fast and you pray and you purify, which we do a 7-day detox, live food cleanse and fast together in the 4th week of our journey, if you would do such, you will be able to blossom. Out of the mud, the challenge is your medicine. You study it deeply, and you learn, and you grow, and you overcome, and you get a chance to shine and become radiant. They said science botanists have studied the lotus because it's one of our classical flowers of chemists. And that lotus blossom means everything because they put the botanists put dirt. There was something special about this lotus, these people. They put dirt, they put soil, they put grease on top of the leaf. And in a few moments, it just rolled up into a ball. The dirt and the grease rolled off the petal, and you did not see a blemish. So that's us. No matter what you have gone through in your life, when you begin to purify, you won't have those blemishes. They will just roll off of your leaf, your shoulders, your heart, your spirit, your mind, and you will get yourself back as a healed woman on the path, on the journey of life. Now, there's 2 more gateways, but the gateways in the book, it was written in 2000, but healing continues. There's a cosmic time. What do you do? 4 o'clock in the morning, they give you your visions, your treasure chest. And what do you do at 12 o'clock when you really manifest and manifest came through? And then what you want to do at 4 o'clock when you go into heaven room and you begin to fortify yourself, to beautify your spirit, and singing your self-massaging. You do at 9, 10 o'clock in the evening when it's time to go within and retreat and rest so that you can channel and go through your night journey to wake up with greater awareness of your life and your life plan. That is what is revealed to you. What is your cosmic time of those 4 quadrants of the day? And then that is also in the first chapter of the first gateway of Zero Gateway of New. You'll find that chart right there of how your day should flow to be in harmony. The finally is Mesh Connect. And Mesh Connect deals with birthing your purpose. I have found that if you do not live your purpose, you will never be happy, no matter how much money you make. So why not start now? Your purpose could be like a mustard seed, like a lotus seed. It could be a little thought, but you must water it every day and put time to it. Some of you have a book that you put back on the shelf, take it off, and write a line a day, a page a day. Some of you have clothing that you have to sew. And start to get that machine back up again. People want your garments. Do not lose faith. Those sisters right there, they need some of what you have. And some of you have jewelry that you've always wanted to do, gemstone jewelry, and that will be your gift. And some of you are natural teachers, and some of you want to be yoga teachers. So what? One person came to your class. Don't give up. Keep going until everybody in the whole community knows you. You know, blog it, talk about it. 3 classes until you finally get compensated for the knowledge that you have gathered on your journey. We've all been given our purpose from the beginning of life. And it's in this life that we live it. If you heal yourself, you'll have energy to go ahead and make your income for now to transition. And then in the evening time, you come home and on your weekends, you are fully about birthing your Mesh Connect. And the gift of Mesh Connect is a woman in a squat, and she births a baby. That baby is herself. That is your purpose. And the prayer is, Isheo Lua, Kole Bajeo, that no matter what has happened, and that says that even though the Most High works through you are indestructible, the Most High works through you is indestructible. All you need are the tools. Now, this is an amazing time right now because from these gateways, I've been doing this work for 4 decades. I started when I was 16 years old because I was chronically asthmatic and I had arthritis, I had chronic headaches. 1 second. You can sit down. I'm having a London floor right now. Have a seat right there, sir. That my sister. You can have a seat right there. Thank you. Right. So I had PMS chronic. I had hours and sometimes days. I had wound issues. I was in chronic. I had arthritis, and I had chronic asthma, allergies, hay fever. It took me 2 21-day detoxes with herbs and juicing, internal hygiene, and healing baths. The work that I teach now, and I got rid of all that. Well, see, you can get rid of any disease, but can you keep it away? Lifestyle. So from 16 to 65, I'm living this lifestyle, so I would never get those issues again. And you don't have to have issues either to heal yourself. So what am I offering? This is auspicious because starting the April the 12th, we're having a special gathering reception. You get a chance to take a woman and man heal thyself that will take it on. And the Lotus Blossoms. We have little girls from 10 years old to 14 will take, I'll be teaching for the first time, the Lotus Blossoms. I taught many years ago, the first many years. But the passage of women 18 and up, 18 to 80, this is when I teach those gateways. And Man Heal Thyself, the same. I'm teaching that from Man Heal Thyself book, the pylons. So for London, I had reset up Sundays for London because I know when I taught on Tuesdays at 7 o'clock, that would be at 12 o'clock midnight. That would never work. So what I have just done is I will be teaching it on Sundays, my time at 2, your time at 11. Take the 12 weeks. And let me give you a little bit about the 12 weeks, and I'll do a Q&A. Any questions you may have, personal, mental relationships, issues, psychological, family, health, what have you. I'll answer your questions. It's 12 weeks. The 12th is reception. The 17th is the first day, which is Raw Day, Day of Enlightenment, Sunday. And it will go from September 17th training to December 17th. I'll be teaching you every Sunday for 2 hours based on the book. And there'll be Q&A the last 15 minutes, so you can email your questions or you can be on the call and call in your questions, and I'll answer them. And go deep into the gateways and give you homework to do. Blossomed every week, you're blossoming more and more, and all the lights inside your house are waking up. You'll also get a 7-day detox kit. The 7-day detox kit has your green light formula to repair and rebuild your brain, your memory, your immune system, your blood. It has your mass herbal detoxified cravings, so you don't crave the foods that are poisoning you. It lets you off of the cheese and the dairy, the alcohol, the cigarettes, and coffee, and so on. And then you'll receive your rejuvenation clay for aches and pains and swelling, backache, wound ache, shoulders, gum pain, headaches, with your breath of life. Thank you. With your breath of life, which for those who have asthma, allergies to breath, you're going to have the breath of life, and you'll break that in a week's time. Self-colon, you have 5 to 10 pounds of waste in your colon. That form will help to release at least 5 of those pounds of the congestion. And you're going to center your every Friday your curriculum. You get that with your scroll. You'll have your scroll, and it's about 3 feet length, and it lays out your roadmap with your Ma'at feather. It's one of these feathers I have here. You'll get a Ma'at feather spirit. And that is all, those are all the work we have to offer you. If you're able to do a teleconference, and a teleconference for you, and it's a global teleconference, you're assigned to a mentor group, and once a week you'll meet with your mentor group to ask questions, to go into a little deeper with what you're going through in gateway to gateway. And then we'll have our math teachers held on Thursday at 7, which is your 12, but it's okay, because maybe that one you'll be able to get some of it. We always record it. Recordings electronically. So it's filled with a lot of inspiration, education, information. The of this is to wake up that inner medicine woman. Thanks. All right. So I will be taking down names of those who are interested. We'd like to take your emails, your names, to see who's interested in taking the journey of the American cost of such, and can be digesting on your place to that, because you're going to be helping many as you grow and learn from this. You want to be able to go from taking the rites of passage. That's for the first level 1. Level 2, you want to become a practitioner. Then you can do one-on-one trainings. That's 2 separate trainings. And then womb yoga dance teachers training. That's 3 separate trainings. So you have those options, and it will counsel with you if you're interested. This $5.95 plus the shipping. It's a cost of a $45 shipping to send out your package to London, from here to London. And so it's $5.95 for that. For all those are online. And the payments are you can start paying now, so that you can be on Sunday's call. You have 2 more sessions for Sunday's call, and that's when you receive your orientation manual of 19 pages. I prepare you how to prepare your family, how to prepare your home, how to prepare yourself deeper for your journey. So it's quite a massive work that you're about to embark upon. Further, let me answer a few questions, and then we'll go into who's interested, a show of hands and names, and we'll take it right on the spot, your emails, as well as your phone number. And if you have a son or a husband who would like to take me and heal myself, we also want that information so we can start our. Let's begin with our Q&A. Who will be first? Give your name and your question, and I'll answer, because I hear you. Who'll be first? Don't be shy.
Ask a question. Does anyone want to ask?
Can you just clarify some stuff about the actual course itself? So, is it the
wait a minute.
Now?
I'm going to pull this closer to me. You may not. Okay. Now, say that question again.
Yeah. Can you just clarify? Is it online? Is it online?
Hold up, Mr. Tanya. Could you help? Could you help our brother? Yeah. Yes, go ahead.
Can you just clarify? Is it online course for, is it 3 months? Because we couldn't hear you.
3 months.
Online. It's an online course, yeah?
It's online.
Is it an online course for 3 months?
Yes, it is 3 months.
Okay.
It's September the 12th, it's a reception, and then it starts September the 17th, the rites of passage, and it ends December 17th. So it's a straight 3 months, every Sunday, every Friday. Okay? Getting it in now. Who's the next question or statement?
They're asking just for you to give your website details, how best to contact you besides today.
Just check www.sacredwoman.us. Some of y'all put up now. Good. Check and see. Go ahead. Sacred Woman. Somebody pull up and just pull. I can know that you are on it. You have it. What has it? One does.
I think we got it.
Great. Okay. Next question.
Yeah.
And then I have 2 websites though. For those who specifically want physical issues, maybe your grandmother, your mother, diabetes, high blood pressure. Sacred Woman is one word. Man Heal Thyself is a wellness words. Those are 2 rites of passages. And overall healing, I cover 103 diseases. That's www.sacred. I'm Queen of 4. NAFUA.com. I believe most of you are here for Sacred Woman. What else? Next question? Yes.
For joining the course.
Oh, the book. I see you picked up the book, Overcoming an Angry Vagina,
yes.
Journey to Womb Wellness. 6 womb issues.
Yes, I brought your. This is what I'm reading at the moment.
Oh, I'm just there. Do you know that book came out in London?
Yes. Wow, yeah, I love it.
I loving it. That book, and guess I did with that book in London. I did a book signing, and right after the book signing, I did a human play based on that book called The Vagina. Because what was she? So read that book.
My friend met to you, and you signed the book for her. So I went and bought this one because she told me about it.
I am so ecstatic. I'm so happy that you brought that up. Yes, and You know, that's the lotus. That's the lotus. And inside the lotus is the ovary, the fallopian tube is the uterus. You can see that. And the goal is that your womb will become restored, no matter the trauma, and if it's prolapse or if it's ovaries are now shrinking or dry, you'll begin to use the elements, air, fire, water, earth to heal. From drinking the water, drinking your tonics, to taking your herbs from the earth, to putting your clay pack, to drink, to invert, to doing your affirmations. All of that is inside this book. But
yes, I see it.
Those who want guidance, that you can order your 28-day detox kit from us, and I can do a consultation with you. So I can do a 30-minute consultation. You'll have your book ready, and you order your kit.
Is it the same website to get to you about this? Is it the same website?
It's the Queen of Food. That one is under queenoffood.com.
Queen of Food, okay. Thank you.
Okay, and that was 4 classes, but I'm not now rather than do the 4 classes, I'm doing a 30-minute before and a 30-minute after.
Okay.
A private session with you, with your partner. Okay, right ahead.
I'd just like to thank you. I've been working on your books since 2015.
Oh my.
And it's helped me an awful lot. It really has. So I'm just saying to them that it will be a very powerful journey for them to go on if they did this.
Oh, I'm so grateful. So we've been together for 7, has it been 7 years? No, 17 years? But you said 205?
2015 I started. 2015 I started.
2 years.
Okay, wonderful. So now it's time for you to take the journey, Sacred Women. I think it's time.
Oh, I did.
Pray that London will join us.
I did the Sacred Woman. I started with
You taking it?
Yes.
Did you took it with me?
No, I did it with a group of women.
You did. That's renegade when you do it on your own. I'm talking about officially when you're certified through my actual hands on and hands around. You haven't taken it with me yet. So I look forward to being able to walk you through it because it's a different experience because of the seasoned veteran of this work that I am. Okay, give thanks. All right, any other questions or statements?
That'll be it.
We just give our
We'll get the details, Queen, and we will pass them forward.
All right, that is wonderful.
Queen, and there's a man. There is a man.
Because you organized it.
What?
Who are all the brothers that are there who organized this circle?
We got Brother Terry.
Brother Terry, give thanks. Brother Kansu, thank you, man. Man, heal myself.
That's it.
Never done it. My first video.
Brothers are 2 warriors. Oh, look at you. Bless your heart. Oh, that is so He's so devoted. You know what? This is to me, this is the moment. This is an historical moment because I've been coming to London, I said, for about 11 years back and forth. And this is the first time that we actually had it where you're seeing me from London and I'm here in New York. You know, a lot of vision, a lot of prayers, but it never happened. A lot of hopes, a lot of dreams, a lot of possibilities. So for all of you sisters who gathered together this day to get with your healing, I just want to lift you up to the highest extent. Allow me to support you and to polish you up and make your hearts healthier, your wombs more vibrant, prevent surgery. We can prevent losing our hearts, losing our minds, that we can become more vibrant, that we can find our peace from within. It is a wonderful thing. I want to give you a few prayers. One of the prayers is from Sacred Woman, and it's all put your hands over your heart center. I'm holding this iPad with my hands right now, so that's why I can't put my hand. Thank you, my sister. Because I can't do it because I'm holding this pad up. Both hands, right hand over your left hand, right hand over your left hand fully. That's it. So you have to put the book in your lap. I'm glad you want to hold on to that book in your life. This is actually so much fun to see you. It's incredible. My beloved brothers, thank you. Thank you for making this reality. Thank you for nurturing the sisters. For these are your sisters, these are your daughters, these are your mothers, these are your aunties. This is the birth of a nation. Heal a woman, heal a nation. Heal a woman, heal a family also. Woman, heal a community. Heal a woman, heal a country, heal a planet. Heal a melanin woman as the first healers. And it's time for us to get our just due. And London, my sisters from London, we did have a group there before. We had one some years ago. It's time for the Renaissance. Here in the United States, from 2016, we had Sacred Women, and 100 women came through the fall and in the spring, and then another 100 plus women came through from all parts of the country, all parts of the world. We had six sisters from Alaska and all throughout the United States. And now London, we've been preparing for 11 years. It's time to have a strong circle there in London of sisters. So I'm looking for a nice group of sisters who will stay together. Once you graduate, you move forward in the Sacred Women alumni, and you learn more of the teachings of our ancient African ancestors, so we can become women in our fullness again. So this is the prayer, and it comes right out of your book, Sacred Woman. It says, call and respond. I'm going to call, you respond. Ashe?
Ashe.
Aha. Aha. It is, Sacred Spirit, hold me near. Peace. Sacred Spirit, hold me near.
Sacred Spirit, hold me near.
Close to your bosom.
Close to your bosom.
Me from harm and fear.
From harm and fear.
Beneath the stones of life.
Beneath the stones of life.
Direct my steps in the right way.
Say that again.
Direct my steps
in the right way.
Yes. As I journey through this vision.
As I journey through this vision.
Surround me.
Surround me.
Ground me.
Ground me. Ground me.
In your most absolute perfect light.
In your most absolute perfect light.
In your sacred purity. Anoint me.
Say that again.
I will say on your behalf. Take it in. Anoint me in your sacred purity. Give me peace and divine insight. Bless me, truly bless me, as I share this sacred life. Teach me, Sacred Spirit, to be tuned with the universe. Teach me how to heal with inner outer elements, fire, water, and earth. We said to our inter, which is giving thanks to the, this is the Hesi. You can Hesi with me. To our inter. Give it back. Hesi back. To our ancestors.
To our ancestors.
To our protected by 70 purifications. We purify ourselves at the great stream of the galaxy, and that will just, and the spots upon our body and upon the earth are washed away. We come that we may purify the soul of ours in the most high degree. We call sisters from all spiritual houses, from all walks of life, to take this auspicious journey and heal ourselves that we may heal all our relations. I want to hear more from you, my sisters. I want to hear your why you're here before I get off this call. I just want to make a connection. Just say why you're here very quickly. It could be one word. It could be a sentence. You on this call? What do you want to accomplish? Let it be heard.
To meet like-minded people and share information and knowledge.
Give thanks. Ashe. Everyone say Ashe.
Ashe.
Okay, next sister. Next sister. Go ahead.
United.
To be united.
Ashe.
United.
Ashe.
Ashe.
To be
Next sister.
to be 100% happy.
She said to be 100% happy.
I heard her. That means she wants a light heart, healed heart. That's my aunt. That your gateway is my aunt. Ashe. Next one.
Just to connect with Black femininity.
Just say it here.
Connect with Black femininity.
Connect with Black femininity.
Unity. The unity is
Femininity.
us. That's the power. You have books say us. Why are you here? Ashe.
Ashe. I'm here because I feel the need to bring people together in peace, love, and harmony and understanding.
Harmony, understanding.
Peace.
That's the gateway of my peace.
Harmony and understanding.
My aunt. Study the gateway. My aunt. Begin your. What else? What else are you here? Has everyone spoken?
No.
I'm here
Go ahead.
to learn. I'm
Terry,
here
what
to
is
learn
What's it?
experience.
She's here to learn from experience.
For your experience.
From your experience.
Wonderful. Well, it starts with the books and then with the trainings, and you begin to live it. So that's all of the works. That's 7 books. From Heal Thyself, Overcoming, and Angry Vagina Journey to a Well Sacred Woman, Man Heal Thyself, which brothers, we want you to be there on the 12th. Thank you. Get them here. Same way we're here now. And then that's our reception. 2, the books of wellness, restoring up to the 7 kitchens of consciousness that can help you to the path of the healer. Any other affirmation statements while you're here? Give thanks. I thank you all so much.
Okay.
This is the beginning of something wonderful and great. Brother Terry, Man Heal Thyself on the journey. Thank you so much for organizing. I can so much for organizing. Can you please continue to sisters staying in harmony? And those who are going to take this journey, I want you to stand up. I want to see the ones who are going to take this journey with us coming up. Just stand up. I want to look at you. Stand up if you're going to take the journey. That's one. Clap it up. Clap it up. She's making a stand. It's just, they're all going to be coming out. So who else is going to be taking the journey with this season? Let's take a stand. If you're not in, I see 4 here, but if you're around the circle, come up to the front so that I can take a look at you and make that connection.
We're going to stand up.
Yeah.
Just come up to the front and stand.
We have to give them.
1 or 2. They can come around where the sisters are in the front so I can take a look.
She just wants to take a look. So
I just want to see
just
your
for them
face.
to stand up.
No,
Just want to see your
come
face.
around to where our sister just stood up who has the book. Oh, our sister, what's your, okay.
Amanda?
You're just taking a stand.
Hello. Amanda?
Amanda, you're taking a stand. Give thanks. Clap it up for Amanda. She's taking a stand.
Agree.
She's taking a stand to take the journey. Consul, with the sisters' names, we're going to be taking the journey. And all the other sisters are welcome to join us again, and brothers at the reception. And our doors will open up to the Lotus Blossoms, face-to-face, online as well. So we have 2 sisters right now who are going to take the journey, and those other sisters will continue on their healing quest and do the studies and apply and stay in contact.
Okay.
Yes.
All right then.
Thank you for coming out and pass the word that the healers here again. They say our way is dead. They say our way is no more, and that the ancient healing valley legacy is in the thousands of years ago. But we are here, and we do remember. It is large in our DNA, tapped down deep in our, which travel deep within, and we fasted and we prayed, and then one day, then 2 by 2, then thousands began to wake up to the ancient healing Now Valley legacy, and we, all of us in this circle, and we do remember. Thank you. To our turn, my brothers and sisters. Thanks.
Okay. Okay.
Back at you. Ashe, oh.
Ashe.
Why, Give thanks. Give thanks. Wonderful. Job well done, my brothers. Job well done.
Okay.
So get back to us. Get everyone's name so we can send them out there preparation.
We'll do that.
And then let's reach out, please. Could you reach out to Todd? I could tell you how it's going to work through 2 of you helping to this, okay?
Okay. All right then.
Terry?
Yes, Queen.
So call Todd while she's here with me so I can have a conversation with the 2 of you for a moment.
Who? Okay, I'll call you. I'll call back on the WhatsApp. Okay then.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Now, this is Black Eyes TV 7. Once again, this is Terry Riggs speaking live sideways. But we've got one more person just to speak before everyone comes out. We've got the main man, Konsu. Where are you, Konsu? Yeah. And he's going to give us a poem before we start to get into business. Konsu. Come on, Konsu. We're asking for you to come forward. It's a poem. He's coming to talk to the sisters. This is all the way from the UK to the USA. And he's coming to talk to all women.
Right here.
Just right here. Just go in front. Go on.
You can sit here.
There you go. There you go.
Just back.
Come on, cousin.
Okay. Okay, we are. So, greetings, beloved queens. My name is Andre.
You're gonna have to talk up so everybody can benefit.
Okay. My name is Andre Sankofa. People know me as Professor Konsu. And Terry called me here today. He said, "You know what? Can you do that thing that you did in New York when we was with Queen of Phil at her birthday?" And I was like, "What thing?" And he's like, "That thing that you did in your book." I was like, "Okay, why?" He said, "You know, some beloved sisters are going to be here, and do your thing." So who am I? My name is Andre Sankofa, Professor Konsu. I'm founder of the Manhood Academy for Boys in North London. I'm also a lecturer, youth advocate, author, publisher, etc. So I've been doing this work forever. I came into New Arabian nation and I've been doing it for a couple of days now. I serve my people. That's just why it's what I do in any way or form. So I've written this book, Sacred Man. Now this book is for men, but it's also for fathers, sons, men of course, and it's for the women who love men. So it's for everyone. So this book also is for if you have sons, if you have a partner, or if you want to learn about men, how we think, what is our purpose, why are we here, how do we synergize. So this book's everything. It took me 5 years to write, and because I've been doing this work for so long, I just thought, let me write something for the youngers that I work with, and then it expanded, and let me just write this for anyone who's interested. So that's what this is, and there's a passage from it that Terry asked me to read. But before I do that, I brought another book. I got this. My library's like almost like the size of this wall. But if you don't know, book, anyone in the social media online world, this book I'd recommend to my beloved queens. It's by master teacher Yale Morris, and it's just about how do you tap into your divine feminine in this masculine world. And why do I say masculine world? One of the teachers, I've studied many master teachers in my time, and this book is accumulation. There's books from Phil Valentine, Queen of Fua, you know, just all the masters. You could pass it around. I could pass this one around. And I remember David Dada saying that countries that are masculine and countries that are feminine, right? So Hawaii is a feminine island, right? Everyone's just, you know, dancing and whatnot. The Caribbeans are feminine islands, right? Now London, New York, they're masculine energy, right? So how do we balance ourselves in this environment, men and women? You know, so this book is quite pivotal in defining that. And then he also released recently the men's version of that, which is Awakening the Divine Masculine. Very good book. But anyway, keep the volume up. Are they saying they can't hear? Are they taking? I can't hear you.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
All right. We need to hear this beautiful poem.
Yeah. So how much time have I got?
10 minutes.
I could just ramble. Okay.
No. Because we've got business to deal with.
Okay. So.
But it's lovely to hear it.
So within this book, Sacred Man, I wrote a poem on my journey. Okay. And it's called The Sacred Apology from the Black Man to the Black Woman. Okay. So I've come here. I've come here to say sorry. I came to say sorry. I'm really, and I came to say sorry for all black men. Okay. Can't apologize. The black men that do not have the emotional intelligence to apologize, and the black men that have apologized. Huh? Okay.
You agree, right?
So
yes.
Right. Yeah. So I term it healing the sea of broken hearts. All right. So how many of us there are like single parenthood? How many? Okay. So I'm going to start writing about this, the phenomena of the single parent household. All right, it's toxic and it's chronic in our community, and it's actually it's not even in tune with who we are. So if you go to African village, you go to the Caribbean, everyone's all up in your business. Grandma's in your house, slapping up your children, go and sit down. You know, your uncle's taking your son out fishing, and you know it's community, right? So I'm over here. A society that functions from fragmentation. Everything's about man v female, black v white. It's all diverse. So we have couples versing each other, and it just creates this phenomenon where we're just not functioning in a natural state, you know. And yeah. So I'm going to read this poem to you all, and yeah, I'm just for all men, because I just was inspired at the time where I was at to do so, and I just feel that it needs to be said by more men. All right. So here goes. From the black man to black women. Black woman, cosmic creator of us all. In honor of your divine feminine, I open my heart chakra with grace, integrity, strength, and vulnerability. To say, as a black man, I am sorry. I am sorry for falling short of being your divine counterpart. For the times I dishonored you. For projecting my human insecurities, ego, and unresolved issues onto you. I'm sorry for being trapped in my head with selfic logic that hindered me from not listening when you expressed how you were feeling. I'm sorry for being abusive, controlling, suppressive, dominating, and demanding. I am not proud when these male attributes within me raise their ugly head. So, as a gesture of healing the sea of feminine broken hearts left behind by me, the black man, I ask for your forgiveness. I stretch out my hand to you, the black woman. I recommit to embracing your feminine wisdom, to protecting your mind, body, and soul wholeheartedly when you open up like a lotus flower. I recommit to cherishing your blackness like a sacred melanin jewel and matching your strength in harmony with mine. I recommit to respecting the divine feminine within you because I value your priceless contribution to raising the human family from birth mother to grandmother. I will do my part to support you through ways to harmonize with you in peace. So our masculine and feminine energy intertwined can flow with ease and equilibrium. Homie, lover, friend, companion, and confidant. I recommit to earning your unconditional trust as a warrior, redeeming your hands as the goddess that you are. I recommit to honoring your higher self and valuing your womanhood. So we can synergize our strengths to strengthen our bond in these challenging times that make it easier to separate than endure. I hold out my hand to uplift you as the Black Cinderella, your Carthaginian Moorish knight in shining armor, the yang to your yin. So we may synergize together as one in beauty and peace. Black woman, I apologize.
Oh.
We apologize.
Yeah.
We apologize. I hope everyone enjoyed that.
So that's
We'll accept.
Do you accept? Do you accept?
Yeah, I accept.
Do you accept?
No, we have to.
I
accept.
Okay. Because it's a spiritual thing, right?
Now let me check this. I hope you're enjoying this out there. Getting back into business because now we're talking about women power. Because they're the ones that are going to whisper into your ear. Remember, men, because she's always right.
Exactly.
Anyway, Monica, let's hit this thing off.
Peace and love. I love your energy.
So, I hope you're enjoying this. These are the fantastic women here in the UK, and we've got the fantastic women in the US of A into Bond. So give us something to start off with, Monica.
Okay. So peace and love, everybody. My name is Monica Lamb. Everybody call me Mo. And I'm here accompanied with my beautiful sisters, Sister Ziki and Sister Cheryl, and Dr. Bayat may be one, maybe not. We'll see what happens. So my component in the USA is we help small businesses do business to government, meaning contractual services from a nonprofit perspective or a for-profit perspective. So we kind of partner, Shara and I kind of partner. I tackle the business filings, helping them make sure that their business is in order, Secretary of State, EIN, DUNS number, and cage code, so that they can actually do business with the government. And then I also, in the USA, when you want to do business, and this is just an avenue of business, it's not all that we do, but this one in particular is very lucrative, that we have set aside funds. And this is when the government actually takes a pot of money and say, okay, I want to put 23% of this money, or 5% of this money to women-owned businesses. I want to take another 5% and put it to veteran-owned businesses. I want to do another 3% to HUD zone businesses, another 23% to minority-owned businesses, and so on. And so with that comes a certification process. One of the things we are privileged to, that you can partner or subcontract with businesses. Sometimes you have primary businesses. That means that those businesses are probably already have been doing contractual services and probably have a number of a volume of contracts underneath their belt. And so they have more work than they can provide the laborers, and they may subcontract. Or you could do what we call joint venture, where you join partner, not necessarily a partnership, but it's project for project, and do business. Like right now, we know, everybody knows that in Houston, they're suffering from disaster. They're doing immediate relief right now on the ground in Texas. And so a lot of the funding has been shifted to support that. One in particular being dislocated workers, where they have shifted funding from Department of Labor down to the Texas Commission, Workforce Commission, where they're actually going to support those individuals who have lost jobs, and, i.e. example, give them a different trade, cleanup, renovations, constructions, anything of that nature. So any business who is looking to expand and do business in some contractual services. We also have the education components of it, where Department of Education have contracts. So we have businesses here in the US and possibly in the UK, where you can contract services and do workshops and seminars, and it will be contracted out from the government, paid services to come in and facilitate programs. So you're talking anything from after school programs to mentoring to behavior health to leadership, tutoring, entrepreneurship, you name it, it's out there. And right now they're catering to women-owned businesses. So case in point, there's contracts in New York, but one of the situations we're running into here in the US is that they are wanting those businesses to be at least, well, those contracts to go out to at least 30% own women-owned businesses. And so our women-owned businesses aren't, and in order to do that, you have to be certified. Now, to do certification, so here's how it actually can work. Just a little brief synopsis, and I'll pass it over to my sisters, is that if we have businesses on the ground here in the US and they're in a particular industry and they have capabilities, well, and they're certified, or maybe let's say we have a business here. Let's say we have a leadership, and I'll just use that because that's the first thing that comes to mind, a leadership training contract. And let's say a sister in the UK is very familiar with how it has a curriculum to teach leadership. Well, the company in the USA may have the means, because they're the US company with the contract opportunity, and they can partner and fly the company down from the UK to come out and teach. Cultural diversity. There's so many different contracts out there. It's unbelievable that you could partner. Now that's on more of a governmental, that's on more of a more structured side, governmental side, expanding your business, getting multi-million-dollar contracts, avenues. Then you also have where logistically, manufacturing goods and moving goods over logistically. So I won't dominate that particular field. So that's kind of what I get into as far as the certification and getting the business filings started for someone to actually partner with someone in the UK. I'll pass it to Cheryl because we kind of work hand in hand, and then we'll go to Sister Riziki because her business is a little different. Cheryl.
Hello, I'm here. Hi guys, how are you today? Mo touched on a lot of things that we do. What the main thing that we want to do is try to match your skill set with a government contract. So that's everything from entertainment. If you are an entertainer, we can find contracts for you that is in the entertainment arena. If you do anything with clothing, sewing, whatever it is you do, cooking, catering, we could find a contract that matches up with your skill set. And we work very hard so that men and women can work together, because as Mo mentioned, a lot of contracts out there now are being geared towards women-owned businesses. So most men out there, they do not have a lot of set-asides for them. So we ask people to match up and join other women, whether that's your wife, your girlfriend, your cousin, whomever, and create a business with them so that you'll be opened up to more contracts. So that is pretty much what we do. We find them, we put them together for you, and they have multi-million-dollar contracts out there that's basically just waiting for someone to submit for them. And we're not really submitting anything. So that's why Mo and I got together and just trying to put this knowledge out there for our people to start taking advantage of it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sister Riziki, where's she run up to? So Sister Riziki, she has a company called Nature's Crown, and she'll be able to tell you all about it. She do something just a little bit different than us, but we all join together. We usually together on Wednesdays a lot at 1, and then we'll be able to hear what you guys do and your ideas. There she goes. She's back, Sister Riziki.
Peace. Oh, these are introductions. Okay, peace, beautiful brothers and sisters in the UK. I am Riziki Zafira. So a little bit about what I do. I too am partaking in the opportunities with Monica and Cheryl as far as government contracting, but like my life's work, my purpose, I don't even know what to call it, but I do a lot of body work. Some people call it Reiki. I also do tantric energy healing. So I work with men, women, I work with couples. I also do sidereal astrology. And I recently just got certified as far as a goddess yoni steaming. So I do, you know, reproductive health. I do womb Reiki. And yes, I steam vaginas. I'm definitely all about, you know, we got to keep it juicy, ladies. We got to keep it juicy. And but a lot of my work as far as, you know, why I'm inspired is because we do have opportunity as people to come together, but we're not being honest about our personality dysfunctions, that I call them. Like, we have so much greatness in us. We have so many goals that we need to accomplish, but because we are not healed, like we have a lot of trust issues, we got a lot of ego issues, we got a lot of petty issues that hinders us from, you know, moving together as a community, and especially in business, you know. And a lot of my work, especially in tantric energy healing, is about activating a man and a woman to their highest, most best version of themselves. And I do this by going by like 4 houses that man and woman have. So as far as woman, you know, some of us are not nurturing. Some of us are not, like, we have a low self-esteem as far as our beauty, our femininity, our sensuality, sexuality. Some of that has been suppressed. Okay. We have an issue as far as being able to acquire resources and be a good businesswoman. And some of us also have issues as far as being in their intuition and knowing how to lead a family or lead in times when her man may need her to. And then vice versa for the men. Our men need healing as far as knowing how to be better warriors, protectors for the community. They too need to have better training and healing as far as what it means to go out and make something happen. It's not all about the money, but do you know how to make stuff happen? A lot of our men need healing as far as not knowing how to lead, and a lot of men don't understand the necessity that they know how to nurture their woman, because in order for us to operate well in this world and in our family, who's going to fill our cup? So again, a lot of my work deals with activating man and woman to their highest self, so we can go ahead and build these businesses and these communities and all that stuff. So we can have these great ideas, but if we're not emotionally and mentally fit to carry it out, then what are we doing? Yeah. So that's my spiel.
Yeah. Love it, love it.
Thank you. Oh, I got a round of applause. That's what's up.
Thank you.
High five, sis. So you guys can tell, I mean, let's talk, let's dialogue. What's on your mind? What type of businesses that you're in? How can we all help one another and support each other's ventures?
Do you want to go around the room? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so sisters, do you want to go around the room and introduce yourselves and tell them?
My name is Margaret. I have 2 businesses. I have a cake business. I also teach young people, adults, you name it, across the board, cake baking and decorating. I'm also a holistic practitioner, like yourselves, like the sister was just saying. I do Reiki also as well, and healing, and I also do spiritual stuff as well. And I do deal with the shadow side of people, having to embrace that, because you have to be able to move from that in order to become a better person. So that has been my journey, basically, raising 4 children on my own, having to deal with that child who's autistic. So I do mentoring as well. So there's a lot of things that I do. So I like this. I do like this. Feels like I'm in the right place, to be honest.
Awesome.
Okay, well, what do? I wear, like my sister, my cousin here, many hats.
Yeah.
I too also have a cake business. I too also have a special needs child who is Down syndrome. Also, I am a one-parent family that has brought up 6 children, more or less by myself. And I give thanks that I have been blessed with children who have gone on to do further education, have put themselves forward and are looking to organize their own businesses. Work is concentrating on working with my son, but I haven't really started. The thought is there, but I haven't started because I think at the moment, in this circle in which we're in and where I'm going, because my journey has taken me many places, and I've learned a lot over the time in having my son, that when I have information and knowledge, when I know something, or if I know someone who knows something, that it's important for us to put it out there and to share that knowledge and information with others, because many of us, like you would hear as you go around, we feel that we're an island, we're by ourselves, and we've got to deal and cope and think for ourselves, because that support, when we say that support, that support from our partners, or some of us do not have that support, that's either from our families or from our partners, wherever that support comes from. It doesn't matter where it comes from, as long as we have that support that will enable us to move forward. So it's important to recognize and know that you're not there alone. So one of the other things that I do is I present a show with my sister, and it's just bringing together, like this evening, people talking generally and wholeheartedly from their hearts about their experience and their thoughts, their obstacles. What did they do to overcome their obstacles, or how do we work to improve on people's lives, and so that others that come along won't have to go through the melee of what you experienced to get to your end result. So And there's a lot more, but I just really don't want to take up too much time because I know there are others here that have a lot to say and contribute. So that's a little bit about myself.
Beginning.
Sorry.
Hello, my name is Amanda. I'm Amazing Grace's co-presenter on radio. So we present on Wednesdays and Sundays in London, and it's more so about how we can empower our community, how we can share information, and how we can enlighten others. And I think, if we can do it, anyone could do it, really. So there's that aspect to what we do, and we're looking to roll that out, not just in the UK, but also in the Caribbean. We've got interest in rolling out our program, and also in various countries in East and West Africa. So, when we hit something, we hit it hard.
Y'all might want to speak up because people are having a hard time hearing you.
Yeah.
And I know what you're saying is important.
What I was going to say, you can inject the forms of things that you're doing for Sue on.
I'm going to.
That's all I was going to say. I have to bring it all out.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, and I want to be able to hear your accent. It's so beautiful.
Thank you, darling.
You're welcome.
Okay, so we do radio presenting and we share information. Sharing is caring. Okay. I'm also a surveyor stroke architect by profession. So I'm into acquiring properties and developing them and renting and selling. That's over here in the UK. And also into development and infrastructure development within Africa. So right now one of my main focus is Sierra Leone. There was a major disaster there in terms of there was a landslide and major flooding. So we've been asked by the government to supply various housing techniques so we can help alleviate their problem and help deal with the shortfall of housing. As a result of the disaster, there's over 1,000 people which are homeless. So we're looking at the housing problems, the drainage problems down there, either this weekend or next weekend. Good. So I look at infrastructures we could be building hospitals, doing major housing projects. We could be looking at road infrastructure, looking at educational facilities, looking at food security, and the list goes on. The other thing I'm involved in a big way is, for me, my home, and more brothers and sisters here, is Africa and the Caribbean. We're all one at the end of the day. Just that we're on the other side, and the grass always seems greener on the other side. I want to be back home. When we're in England, people ask you where you're from, despite having an English accent.
Yeah.
And that it's but where are you from originally? And I'm proud to say I'm African. When I'm in Nigeria, I'm Nigerian. When I'm in Sudan, I'm Sudanese. When I'm in Uganda, I'm Ugandan. So it all belongs to us. And what I appreciate, having spent so much time in Africa, is that we're enriched. Our culture is so enriched, and we as a people have so much strength, and we have so much courage, and we have so much knowledge, but we need to be able to come together.
Yeah.
And we pull together our strength. Our strength comes in us being united, not being fragmented. In terms of natural resources, we are the richest place in the entire universe. And it's recognizing the assets and the minerals that we have access to. Right, so my other business is also commodities. So predominantly, it's, straight to the top. I'm into gold and diamonds. So it's like, what can actually, for me, it's about how we can empower the people to make better use of what they have. I tell them I'm not interested really in them selling their golds and their diamonds. Why? Because our English brothers, our European brothers take those same assets times the value of what they earn locally in Africa. We know when you're at the beginning of a production line, you stand to make the most profit, not the least.
That's right.
No one understands the blood, sweat, and tears that goes into. All we see over here are these luxury shops with all these blingy products, the gold, the diamonds, but we don't think about the blood, sweat, and tears that it's taken for it to get from where it's come from to where it is. So for me, my priority are my miners are my soldiers, my foot soldiers, and my babies. I look after, my position is to place my sellers, to develop their infrastructure, because we're not just coming in saying, yeah, we want to sell your gold. It's like, no, we need to put this money back into the community, because we need to be looking at developing their education system, developing that house, because housing isn't just housing, it's about security, it's about shelter, it's about feeling comfortable. You can produce more, you're more productive when you're happy as such, and it's letting them know that this is possible for you because you guys have worked so hard for it. And we need, it's mutual benefit for both of us, because their thing is that we need you, and I'm like, no, without you there is no us. Each other, there is mutual benefit to be earned both sides. It's about me educating you that what you can do, and Africa needs you. It's not the other way round. Let's get this straight. Yeah, there's too much brainwashing going on.
I think that's important what you said. I'm sorry, not to mean to cut you off, but yeah, I've been to Kenya twice, and what you're saying is so important, because, and this is why more of us need to travel to Africa.
Oh, yeah.
Because when you actually get there and realize how much you've been lied to, number one, honey, first off, I'm mad I'm in Africa in my home and I'm culture shocked myself.
Yeah.
That hurt my feelings, you know, and then to realize in America, oh, we spoiled as heck. Like, when I say they make a way out of nowhere, I'm talking about no food stamps, no welfare, no government assistance, and they still make a way out of, you know, out of no way. And like you said, when you get over there, it's not about, oh, I need you, you need me. We need each other, because you'll see when you get over there, you'll see how what you can bring to the table, and then you also see what you can learn from them. Africa inspired me to learn how to grow my own food. You know, going over there, looking at the schools and stuff, that inspired me to get more into, you know, humanitarian work and import and export. How, you know, how can we come together as a community of people on two separate lands, you know what I mean, and make it work within each other? You see every other culture over there investing, making it happen, making money, sending back to their home, or even going there and stealing the resources, and where we at?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. They are so naturally resourceful. We have lost so much being in Europe. You know, and also the issues that we have with our youth here, they don't have those issues. The disrespect that some of these young children have, and they're so spoiled, and they feel so entitled. The children in the West are so entitled. We have too much, really. In comparison, I mean, some of these kids, they're walking 2 hours to get to school, and they're there on time, in order. They're doing their work under candlelight, and they're loving it. Tell them to do their homework. They're enjoying the fact it's a privilege for them to be educated.
Yeah, but I also, oh, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
No, I was saying I agree, but I'm also saying this too. I think we've been comfortable in like this, I don't want to call it slave mentality, you know, but I want us to get to a point where, you know what, I do deserve the finer things in life, because we've been taught for 400 years, like that's just where we come from. You know, even though before that, all of us may not have been kings and queens, but we come from a culture of abundance where we really didn't have to fight, you know, and scrape and scratch, because our environment provided, you know. And so when we encounter a culture where they come from, hey, it's just ice and brick and stone and stuff ain't, you know, and I can only bathe every so often and I can't cook my food or whatever, you know, we're not prepared for that type of interaction. And I feel that some of us can go get so caught up in our quote unquote blackness that we don't realize that just as much spiritual we need to be, we also need to know how to defend ourselves. We also need to be financially independent, because for some reason we equated righteousness with being broke. You know what I'm saying? Money is evil. No, what you do with it is evil, because listen, it take money to get land. If Georgia Power cut off my power, I can't call and be like, well, I'm a righteous black woman. Hell no, my power's still about to be cut off. It take money. You know what I'm saying? And so I look forward to us transforming into an abundant mind state. Because when you in an abundant mind state, I ain't worried about you being my competition. You my compliment. You know what I'm saying? Like it's enough out here for everybody. And I think that's one of the things that separate us, not only here in America, but some of us not wanting to collaborate with our brothers and sisters in Europe, in Africa, in South America, all over where there's melanated beings. You know, so you know what? And when you say we've lost so much being in Europe, I can agree, but I also think that you've gained so much from being in Europe. Because guess what? You're going to have access to stuff I may not have access to, and vice versa in the motherland. It's like wherever we at, it should all be circulating. Our money should be circulating around the globe. We around the globe. You know what I mean? So if we can't get back to Africa right now, let's just make the best of where we at till we can.
Right. Well, I was talking in terms of our culture, what we've lost, not in terms of what we've gained from education. It's like knowledge that we've gained. You know, it's a two thing. Yeah. Because I feel it's normal to be in a community, for children to grow within a community in Africa and the Caribbean. Whereas when we're here, we're talking about single families.
Yeah.
I'm a grand great aunt. I've got 31 nieces and nephews. I know I look well. But anyway. But it's normal having, for my niece or my great niece or my grand great niece to come and stay with me, as opposed to look for a babysitter. But again, that would be normal in the Caribbean or Africa. So I'm talking in terms of our culture. We try to embrace the Western culture, and it doesn't work for us.
I understand that.
Work well together, doing what we're doing now. We're communicating. We don't need the television to have the fun that we're having now. The television watches me. I don't watch the darn television. I don't put it on. But it's there for when guests come to watch it. But I haven't got time for the television. I would rather be here doing something productive. This feels productive. Sitting in front of the latest or whatever isn't going to put money in my pocket. Isn't going to pay my bills.
That's right.
So, we need to be looking at how we can benefit and work together to make ourselves stronger. So it's mutual benefit for us. And as far as I'm concerned, each one teach one. So we learn from our people and our peer group back home, and in turn they learn from us.
Mm-hmm.
And over.
I'm scared to know what you do. I know what you do.
Okay, well, obviously I'm not where you guys are yet. My name is Tiana. I'm a father of a 4-year-old, and I go to university. I do business with creative industries, and I used to do performing arts, but that all changed when I had my son 4 years ago. And because my dream, I wanted to dance in America. I wanted to, go do performing arts in America, but it changed. I went to Plan B, so now I do that. But I do enjoy it. Started, so I've got 3 more years in university, so I'm excited for that journey. And well, I like stuff like this is because it's teaching me to be a better woman. I talk to a lot of people, helping me grow. So when I go to things like this, or when I talk to many people in the community and in the conscious community, I am learning more about myself and other people, and that I am not alone. The way I am now is difficult for me because my family is not on stuff like this. I'm like, as they call it, I don't like the word, but the black sheep. And so it's different. so these things help me grow as a woman, as I'm growing up as a woman. And yeah, so that's all I can say. Really. Oh, actually, I've got some more stuff to say. Sorry. Back to the generation thing of how the kids are spoke today. But you can sometimes the older generation, but they're not as educated to, you know, grow the children of today. Right now, I think I'm very fortunate to fashion way. When I say fashion, I have to do certain things. I'm not really all about the technology, even though I do have technology stuff. I'm not. My mind is not where some of the kids' minds are today. You know, we can blame what's on the TV. We can blame what's on with social media. It does affect it, because I used to be very insecure about myself. You know. I used to feel that I wasn't enough, or you don't think I weren't worthy enough of myself. I didn't love myself until I saw other Black women love themselves, and it made me love me.
Wow, that's deep.
You know, and I've gone natural. I've been natural for 5 years. I've got dreadlocks. Had it for 1 year. See, I need to get used to showing it. See, I'm getting there, but you know, so it's there. But we need to, with me, I want to inspire younger girls and younger men to love themselves, and that's what I'm about. And I do get a few people on social media do, you know, message me and say, you inspire me to do this, inspire me to do that, and it makes me happy, because, like I said, there's a lot of young people out there alone and don't have the like-minded friends. I've lost a lot of friends from last year to this year because they're not on the same wavelength as me. So now my circle has changed, and this is how it is today. But it's just I need to find a way to get, you know, to the people out there who doesn't have that kind of platform that I have right now. So yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna know.
The sister? Yeah, hi, my name's June, and I have an online business called Yard of Greatness, and I have a weekly podcast, and I talk about racial pain specifically, the impact of racism on our mental health, on our relationships, on our work, yeah, I talk about how to help people understand their pain, because I think a lot of the time, you know, people don't really understand why they're angry. They don't understand how racism actually impacts them. So I talk about not just the generational pain, but I talk about internalized racism and how it impacts families and how that gets played out in the family dynamic. And then I also talk about obviously white supremacy, how it impacts the family as a social thing as well. So that's kind of like the main things that I talk about. The other area that I talk quite a lot about is the impact of the link between racism and addiction. So I use the 12-step recovery model, and then I use that to explain it in a cultural way, so people can understand how. See if I can kind of explain the dynamic. So white supremacy then becomes the abuser, becomes the addict. They're addicted to their own power, and Black people are the victims that are actually victims of that oppression. That's how I kind of define oppression and white supremacy. You know, the system becomes the addict. It's kind of acting out their fear and stuff like that, and Black people obviously react to that. So my work is about helping people to understand the impact of that dynamic, and then using different tools and strategies to help people manage their pain. And some of the scholars that I also focus on, I read a lot of Dr. Wilson's work. I tend to incorporate that a lot into it as well. Also Lee Fuller, I use his work, people like Amos Wilson as well. So I use a lot of those scholars, use their work to kind of help people understand racism. And then with my work, I teach people how to understand the impact of racism and how the pain is going to sort of stops them from living their best self. So that in a nutshell is kind of what I do. But yeah, I do weekly podcasts, and I've got a blog. I've just created my first online program, which is like an introductory to helping people to kind of do daily rituals to help them
discharge black rage, how to nurture themselves, and how to understand, you know, that it has to be like a daily thing. Racism is out there every day pounding us, so we should have a daily ritual every day which nurtures us with the same intensity that we're oppressed. That's what the first program is about that I've done. It's like an introduction to how to take care of yourself. So yeah, that's me.
Definitely. Oh, y'all have them all in the corners there.
Right, we packing them in.
Hello. My name is Hasna. So I would like to create a platform for young Black people and impact them through videos. It can be interviews, documentaries, short films, and yeah, have a bridge between adults and young people as well. So yeah, that's all.
Ivy. Go one more. We got the lady who's responsible for this beautiful venue stepping in.
Hi, I'm Sister Ivy. I am the owner, founder of the Ankh Wellbeing Centre. Ankh standing for African Natural Connection to Health. And we've been operating in this building now for about 9 years. We're primarily a business, so we sell products, natural body products, organic food, herbs and supplements, crystals and all that kind of stuff. Down here we do books, DVDs, jewelry, clothes, greeting cards and all of that kind of stuff. As well as selling products, we have services, so we house things like this. So we have lots of sisters coming together and brothers, housing, using the space for workshops, lectures, film screenings, food demonstrations, and just anything basically that's going to be uplifting our community. As I said, I've been here 9 years, and for 17 years before this, I've been housed in the Shepherd's Bush Market, which is very close to here as well. Very much doing the same sort of thing. That this is happening. I'm really glad to be having something like this happening here. And I just want to see more of it, more connection between the US and the UK, more links being made, and yeah, setting up really nice foundations where we can work alongside each other, trade with each other, and yeah, just big up each other, because we're doing it, whether it's in the US or it's in the UK, we're doing it. We're doing what needs to be done to really elevate our people in whichever way we can. So yeah, I really give thanks for this, and I give thanks for the link of, you know, this, what's happening here, and I just want to see more. And give thanks to Black Ice TV, because without them, none of this would be possible. But Ankh Wellbeing Centre has been home to anyone who comes from the States. We've always used this space as a platform that, you know, whether it's Queen Afua or Layla Africa or Dr. Finch or Saraseti, or, you know, we've had great people in the house that's come from the States, and we're very grateful for that. And anybody in the UK who's doing anything has, you know, graced us with their presence at some point in the 9 years that we've been running this shop, well, from this space. So yeah, give thanks, and yeah, give thanks to all of you. And yeah, more.
I hope you ladies are enjoying this, right? And this is now the time to bond, because we now need to move forward and not start to work as a family, not as strangers. So Monica, how are we going to push this thing forward? Because it's all talk. We want to take action. Give us an idea. As I always say, we need to have an international community conference so we can bond and build together. So what kind of ideas do you have towards that?
Phenomenal. So one from our end, because remember I mentioned, well, let me say this before I say that. I love that dress back there. Yes, I've been waiting to say that for a minute, but yes, I want to buy that dress. So one of the ways I know on our end, I'm not too familiar with how the UK laws, but Cheryl and I will brush up on that. But I know on our side, you know, we spoke of the contractual services and we spoke of how we go about getting funding to do our programs. The unique piece about that is that we write the programs. So they fund what we write. And one of the ideas when you're doing programmatic services is that you want to create conferences or workshops. And in that, we can work towards putting a program together, because I heard mentorship, I heard healing, I heard self-esteem stuff, I've heard trading, all those different ideas. But in particular, that we could take each program and then have some type of the conference and have that as a piece, and it would be actually funded. And in that funding, so one of the things I do a lot with the contractual services side is I teach the program budgets and cost analysis, meaning that anytime somebody's doing any type of contractual services, or they're looking for grants, or they're looking for funding to fund a program, I teach how you should write in guest speakers and conferences and travel the legit way, so that it would already be actually covered. So anytime we do events here, we try to make sure that the actual the revenues coming in can actually pay for the expenses, and then you can also profit. Right. So so when we talk in terms of a conference, either we're talking from a technology perspective, and we're doing what we're doing now, which we can think about and do on either a bi-weekly basis, or a monthly basis, or a quarterly basis, leading up to an actual annual event. Because you need anywhere from at least 6 months to a year if you want to plan something really good, especially when you're talking about crossing international waters, you're talking about paying for travels, talking about hotel stays, you're talking about collaborating the people together. I think that as far as the collaborative of women that we have right here today, we can get the audience. But we want to make sure we're giving off a quality product. So we're talking about facilitating workshops, what type of workshops, making sure it flows, that we're not pushing out a boring agenda, but something that's interactive, that comes with practical exercise, speakers, food, entertainment, all of that stuff intertwined, but also getting something out of it. So one of the deals that we can work on, because there's plenty of opportunity out there. Cheryl gets them all the time, so we're gonna hold Cheryl accountable in the US. She knows how to get the monies.
I hear you, Paul.
Is to get one of those contractual services where we can add in that dollar amount, where not only we could cover the US but also the UK, because there's a way we could cover it now. So on the practical end, so we have our researcher for the money, right? So on the side and the practical side is the written plan, you know, how we're going to tackle it and how we'll break it down, right? So when we're talking about crossing waters, we're probably going to be talking about doing something from a weekend perspective, right? So either we're going there, you're coming here, whatever it is, but that each sister here has a component in it. Either you're being a speaker of the hour or a workshop facilitator. Or because one of the things I think that happens when people are planning events is that we get headliners to cover us, and then our ideas don't get out at all. We aren't able to facilitate the workshop, and we always know the laborer is the one who has the expertise. So if you're a practitioner on the ground, then you should be facilitating the workshop. Motivation of speaking is great and it's fine. However, people need to be walking away with some substance. They need to be walking away with some, not just an idea, but something in hand that they can actually implement where they are. So we talking about doing trade. She said the diamonds and the pearls. She said, I'm going to the top.
I know that's right. Ain't nothing wrong with it, boo.
Hey, shine bright like a diamond.
You know, I'd rather us also own a stake in the gold and diamond industry, because, you know, So go ahead, sis.
There's more than enough to share. The pie is
there. You go. Let me know. I'll buy from you, boo. That's right.
See what to the top. So you know we pushing off the top of energy that excellence is at the top of the order. So if excellence at the top of the order, quality is at the top of the order. You know, each person has to go back and put that plan, and it can't be something so comprehensive that nobody can understand, and you can't do it in 30 minutes, right? We have to be able to facilitate workshops where we can, how we say, get up, speak up, and sit down. Right? Yeah. And then somebody walks away and they're able to contact you for more detailed information.
Yep.
To be able to capture the audience. So yes, I'm ready. It definitely, especially if I get that dress, I'm really gonna be ready. Oh, whatnot. But yes, and Brother Terry, definitely thank you to Black Eyes TV. You know, we met them when they came down to New York. It was phenomenal, the love and the energy. I tell my friends, I say, hey, y'all got to get some new friends. You know, everybody's abusing social media, but we haven't abused social media. If it wasn't for social media, I wouldn't be talking to you guys. I wouldn't know.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I stalked Brother Terry because he interviewed Garfield, and I said, hey, what about the sisters? You know. And so finally he got his own connected in. But it's phenomenal. So I'm definitely gonna join. I never really, I don't know, I don't think I forgot about the UK, but I never really thought about Black people in the UK. I just did.
Oh my gosh. Well, when I was shocked myself. When I don't know how far away Amsterdam is from where y'all at. But I was just like, oh my God, there's Black people here, you know? And then it was just like, yeah, it was like, yeah, there's Black people. You know how y'all talk. But I love it though. And a lot of people are in fact from Africa. And I just found like myself having these dope conversations, man, just, you know, with Black people from all over. And like, we're all feeling the need to just, you know, unify. And then and build community, and that was another part I forgot to mention with the company I do with you know, Nature's Crown International. We're all about that, like tiny homes, earthship, solar panels, you know, our own irrigation system. Like, you know, we need to build our own sustainable communities as well. That's another industry, you know, we're not really tapping into. So I'm excited. I'm ready to come to the UK. To the UK, yeah.
You got to do an event. You've got to do an event so that we all can come over.
Yeah.
Yes.
The conferences.
Yeah. So
y'all
this
need
is
to
the
come to the
conference
sexual healing series. Okay, I have one every month. So 1 month y'all need to come learn about y'all some tantra. It's not all just about sex, but it does help us build community for real. You know what I mean? So it's awesome stuff.
What's the name? I can't pronounce it now. One of the short hair. What's the name again?
Riziki, yes.
Yeah, what state are you in?
Georgia.
The state.
Oh yes, I'm in Georgia.
I've got friends in Georgia, so I can tell them about your because we've been talking about cleansing skin and vagina and stuff because I've got loads of friends in it. That's how I
it's amazing.
Yes.
So I told them about you. Where do you do that?
Where you said where do I do it?
Yeah, tell them.
Oh yeah, I do this out of my home. Like I work from home. Like this is this is what I do. You know, I'm all about, because women, we're so powerful. You know, and like, and no disrespect to the men, but you know, I'll be on my astrology stuff. And the time we in right now, honey, look, this is why women, we've been coming up on our goddess power so much, because as a people, we were naturally patriarchal. And it's not the fact that, you know, men, we don't need y'all, because we do. I'll be quick to tell you, I don't want to do life by myself, honey. I needs me a man. I ain't got no problem saying it. But our energy is what is needed. We are the nurturers, the creators, the cultivators. Like, come on now. And that's why women in business and the calling is here. Like we can move like no other. So I'm glad I'm connecting with y'all. I'm ready to come to UK. I'm ready for y'all to come here and let's get it going, honey.
Yeah.
So passionate. I like it. Don't clap for me, okay? I'm about to come to UA. They don't be clapping for me here in America. I'm just playing.
You know, hey, stop that, Tracy. You know they like to clap for you. They be clapping you up. Yeah, Dr. Maya said she'll be in shortly as well. Cheryl, so yeah, the a lot of you said, when can we do a conference in the US? What did you say, Terry, Brother Terry?
Yeah, I said, yeah, when can we do a conference in the US? Because you know what? I'm a believer of action. So I want us to be able to do things.
Oh, that sounds good.
Plan it. And then start planning from now.
Okay, so the question is, okay, so when we talk about doing a conference in the US, you know, we can do a conference at any time in the US if you're paying for your travel. That ain't no job. But if we're talking about covering, covering down on each other and inviting each other down, of course, we probably needed about 4 to 6 months out.
That's okay. That's fine. That's fine. 6 months, perfect.
Can I just say something? It might not have any relation to what's going on, but my son, he's 12, right? And he's always said to me, Mommy, I want to go to America. And I'm like, how are we going to America? Like, wait, why? Look what's happening now. So
get out.
I've been on holiday and stuff. Do you understand? But this is on a totally different level.
Yeah,
it now makes America another home. Do you understand? And it's not like I really want to stay in America, because I really do feel that my roots are in Africa and the Caribbean, because that's what I do. But it's like these young kids, even though they might not have that knowledge, I think they have it naturally, because it comes out, my son's manifested this without even me knowing. Do you understand? So that's how it feels, that something is going on here.
We're in an awakening.
Yeah, something is going on.
When we say we're in an awakening, because like I said, I'm in Dutch for my family, they're on a different level from me.
Yeah.
And when the way I feel is your mindset.
Yes.
Right? And like also with astrology and stuff, I just came out of a wave spell, blue storm wave spell. That's another, yeah, she understands what I'm saying. So I was meditating, I had to be positive thoughts, I had to manifest some positiveness coming out of this blue wave spell. For 13 days.
Yes.
And you know, there's
I think I was fasting during that time, you know.
Yeah, so the Zolkin chart, it tells us, right? And also we're right now in Mercury retrograde right now. So this is when we need to, you know, always positive. So all this thing that's going on, it is good for our mindset and make sure it's always positive. And because of the time that we are in the knowing and where
and I'm
everyone.
And I'm gonna say this too, sis, about your son. You know, again, going back to just because I read babies and everything, the children coming into this planet right now are like, they not playing, you know, and they're picking their parents. Like, and certain women who, you know, are commissioned to work on their vibration in order to bring forth these children because of the type of work that they're here to do. So a lot of these children who come in with a certain knowing, you know what I mean? Like their energy is very much ancestral, and the parents, you know, and I commend y'all for those who have children and you even being on this conversation, because it lets me know, like, okay, you know, I see this in my child. Now I need to be able to cultivate this and nurture this so that they can be their highest and best version of themselves, because everything that we do affects the energy of this planet. See, people think like all these hurricanes and all this other stuff. Like, I study this stuff, and the universe recognizes energetic imprints. So if we all as African people, we're suppressed, we're down, we're sad, that emits an energy out. You know what I'm saying? And then and then we wonder why we as a people keep going through stuff. But the more we have these conversations, we allow our children to express their gifts. We don't have to keep binding them in this public school, getting them vaccinated. You know what I'm saying? Even bringing back our initiation programs. When a young girl got her period, when a boy turned 13, there were certain things about manhood and womanhood that you were taught in order to be a positive and productive member in society. You know what I'm saying? So us coming together got to get back to that. And again, going back to your child, we just got to recognize, like, these gang members, those are our warriors. That's our army. You know what I mean? Like, what programs are we putting in place to cultivate that? They not a thug. They just need to be set in the right environment to cultivate that energy. You know, and it's time. It's time. It's time. It's time. It's time. It's time. So I'm just excited for us to, like, exchange this energy, because we got to learn from y'all. And there's a lot of misconceptions about how Black people in the UK feel about Americans. There's so many, you know what I'm saying, rumors. Like, there's many of us who just think, oh, they don't rock with us. They don't like, man, bump them, because we just automatically think y'all don't like us. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of education that has to be done with this.
I understand what you're saying, because also, like I said before, you know, for a couple of years, well, for a good couple of years, I've got friends in America, and I felt that they never liked us, and we were saying the same thing, and that's when we said bridging the gap. Because I think what it is, what in America, I'm not being, there's a bubble, or when I say a bubble, it's not knowing what's going on down here. You wouldn't really know what's going on down here. We don't really know what's going on in America, but we see it more because it's controlled and all the news is over here. We see all the stuff. I've got a lot of the American social media. I'm on social media a lot. I'm seeing all of the stuff that is going on because of the blogs, the American blogs, the celebrity gossips or whatever, the other stuff was going on, all of the attacks, you know, as they say, hashtags. Because the hashtag, it all goes back down to America. So we see, but for example, when it comes to shooting or something, you guys didn't really know how the shoot is down here, but you know all of what's going on in America.
Wow, that's crazy.
And when we do the marching, was it last year? I was marching with my friends for the riots when you guys was doing a march in America. We were doing it also, but it wasn't being televised how it is in America. So
wow.
And I know these things because I actually talk to my friends, and like just now, like on Snapchat right now, talking to them, saying I'm talking to you guys, you know, because it's like, okay, that's good. We need that. We need to do stuff like that, because there's not enough communication, should I say, unless you know somebody and you know that person, and that's how we vision it.
Now, I'm going to say this last thing. Y'all heard of Game of Thrones? And I keep bringing this up because, look, this is what I see happening, right? Let's just say we send Monica from America, right? We send one of y'all sisters from the UK, another sister, like all the heads of our countries come together at a round table, and we discussing our politics the same way them Europeans do. You know what I'm saying? Look, you know, we got to unify enough to do the same thing. You know, because, hey, if they got a meeting at 2 p.m. how to create genocide on Black people, I bet you they're going to be there at 1:45. They're going to be on time, right? But when it's time for us to come together, you know, we a little bit slow, but we getting together. So I commend you guys. Whoever's idea this was, I'm a wildflower, as y'all can see. I don't be knowing. Whoever's idea this was, I got to give you a hand clap, because this is important, brother, sister. High five.
Yeah, man. This is Cheryl, where you at?
I'm right here. I'm sorry. I have people calling me about these FEMA contracts. We're trying to get one of them together. I'm sorry. I was chiming in and out, but I am excited about the whole unity. Definitely excited about trying to get together with you guys and either help you grow your business, learn some things on how the UK, you know, work as far as business is concerned. And, you know, we're trying to make this happen. So I'm pretty excited about it. Sorry, I'm kind of working and talking. So we're definitely looking forward to meeting up with you guys. Did anybody else have any questions or, you know, concerns? I am going to dig in to see what's going on as far as doing contracts. Now I know that there's a lot of grant money when we're doing international business, but I'll need to check to see what type of government contracts are out there and available for you guys. So that's one thing that I'm gonna have to try to figure out how we can make that connection, because we have a few cookers back there with the cakes, and, and the government is always having a party, so they're always needing some type of catering, food or what have you. So that would be very good if we can start connecting and expanding that to expand your business.
Yes.
Thank you. Cheryl, is the money just for the US? The funding that you have access to in the grant fund?
Sorry, say that one more time.
The funding that you have access to, the funding that you can raise, is that only to be used in America? Or can it be used?
Well, no. Let's say if you got, let's say, but see, the expense of it is going to get a little expensive. So let's say if we had a contract where they were having this big event out here, you would actually have to probably fly here to prepare your cakes and do what you need to do in order to support that project. So
No
it's
problem.
not like it's one of those things where a lot of the contracts are in the U.S., but as I was mentioning, as far as grants, there's a lot of international grants out there that we can get into.
Which countries? Are we talking?
All of them. For every country, Africa, it doesn't matter. It's all over. India, they have grants for everything that you can think of. And a lot of it has to do with, they have a lot of grants for empowering women, you know. So we can definitely tap into some of that money for you guys. And what else do they have? They have a lot of contracts out there for starting businesses, which kind of interconnects with empowering women. So they have
women contracts is winning right now, just so y'all know, all over.
Yeah, because you have to go where the money at. And at this point in time, Black America, I don't know what the UK doing, but Black America ain't got no money. So you got to go see who's the source, who has the money. The government does, you know. So you have to go to that source in order to get that money.
Yes.
Okay.
And
I'm back on with everyone.
Hey, Queen.
Oh my gosh, what a journey to get back on the call. So the questions that you had to the training, I'm getting close to where it sounds. Can you hear clearly?
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay. What questions did you readings? Are you there?
I have feedback going.
Black
1 second,
Eyes
please.
TV. Okay. Okay, we're back again. Let me know.
Yes. Okay. So yes, we definitely. So 6 months from now, we'll be looking at that's like March 2018 time frame. I have another group of sisters I'm involved with. It's called Loving the Skin I'm In. And to the lady who speaks, it's funny, she said that she talks about racism, how it impacts relationships and things of that nature. Well, the topic that I chose for my February session or event, and I want to be able to live stream you ladies in so we can get your perspective, but it's I called it a lyrical junction. And the name of the organization is Loving the Skin I'm In. And the topics, we're going to do like a talk show topic with the leaders. And it's going to be about how does hair, fashion, music, and social relationship affect your well-being. So when you said that, I'm like, wow, yes, we do need to start discussing how different interactions or social interaction affect our well-being. So that's one of the things we're going to talk about. And that's going to be February 10th, 2018. Whatnot. So
hey Mo, real quick, we also need to get with them to make sure that their businesses are set up properly in order to do business with
we got
to do grants or whatever.
With the yeah, international. Yeah, and we also I just set up I just set up the nonprofit. Well, not just set up in January. We set up Rich Heart, which is a nonprofit organization. And I'm setting up a second one, and those guys are in connection with Haiti. So they're going over bridging from New York to Haiti, and they're doing youth services programs in Haiti. And I think they're be working with Cheryl in the near future, looking for grants for that mission. So the question is, Cheryl, when we talk about contractual services, we could talk about them in twofold. We can have a program and then write them into a contract where their services here, and then we also talking about actually doing a conference where we're bridging the gap and bringing the UK in and America in, and we create this workshop type deal. Makes sense? Cheryl, where'd you go? Are we frozen? Can y'all hear me? Everybody's.
I don't know if they frozen now.
Cheryl, you heard? Did you hear me?
No.
Yeah. Cheryl, where'd you go?
Cheryl's muted.
Oh, she muted. Oh, I'm not sure what happened to her. But anyways, yeah. So that's the angle. So Terry, so why don't you create? We could create a group so that so we can benchmark the timeline leading up to the actual event that we want to create.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying about you joining the we'll have that direct with everyone around that we have. Can you hear me?
You were choppy. I can hear you now. Can you repeat it?
To join WhatsApp.
I think.
Hear us over this side.
Yes, I can. Yes.
All right. What we were saying is.
Oh, you went away again.
To create a WhatsApp.
It is very choppy and the screen is frozen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now you're going wonk 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 wonk.
Well, listen, I think. Can you hear us now?
I can hear you when you say, "Can you hear me now?"
Okay, well, let me just continue on then. What we need is a WhatsApp group because it will make it easier on an international basis for everybody to communicate, send links, pictures, documents, whatever's needed in the interim to set up our little groups and to obviously exchange information between the sisters back and forth. And it will be easy then to add future people and then define future projects that may come up.
I've got a sister group that I've set up already, which has got like a few people.
Okay.
Few people in it. What I'll do is I'll put your numbers and the people here, and I'll put them within that group. There's only about 2 or 3 people in there, so that so we can start building and bonding.
Okay.
I downloaded the app group today. Yes. See, so okay, so you said you already have a WhatsApp group. Okay, so I'll look you up in that group. I downloaded it today when you told me to download it, so I have it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put.
We will create another thing like today, and try to make it consistent.
That works. I think our connection is going bad, so I guess it's I think I heard you say you're gonna create another event like today.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna look to create another.
Okay. It's If you're, yep, if you're speaking, I can't hear.
Oh, okay.
I think we.
Reception. I think we've really.
Let me mute mine. Let's see if that.
Can you hear us here? If you can hear us.
Yeah.
Okay, now you can hear us. Okay. Create what? Because that will be the best way internationally, I think. Try people that into group future projects can join, and we can communicate amongst ourselves. Secondly, we'll schedule another show like today, where we have other like-minded sisters and some of the same sisters that hopefully that have attended today, where we can go on to get deeper into specific projects or areas that we want to cover. We'll start ticking them off one at a time. So we'll look to schedule that and make that a regular thing, where, you know, you sisters can just take control of Black Eyes TV and run this thing. Yeah, so that's that.
Yeah, that's that for now.
Yeah, and that's, you know, and personally, just on a personal note, I just want to say thank you again to our UK sisters, to our USA sisters.
We love you.
Yeah, to the viewing public. Thank
Love
you
you
to all the people. That's all. It was a beautiful thing. Thank everybody for supporting Black Eyes TV 7.
Yay.
My co-supporter and hoster Terry Riggs doing big things. Professor Konsu in the back.
And don't forget Garfield for the whole thing.
That's all. Yeah. Big up Garfield. Big up Dagger Squad. Yeah.
Sign letter. If it wasn't for him, we won't be where we are today.
That's all. We need to get Sarney on here. Do the international link up. Yeah. And keep promoting blackness all the way through. Yeah. And it's been a beautiful thing today with the divine feminine energy in the house.
Yeah.
So thank you everybody for watching. Thank you everyone for attending. And we are out of here.
Bye.